How's it going, ladies and bruisers? I'm Bobby Sixkin and welcome back to Torment, Tides of Numenera, where we today are going to be continuing our exploration of the underbelly, because we have a lot of fucking people to talk to down here, and a lot of things to be done. I believe we have 2 missions to get done down here, because we have to get into this... We have to find the Dendra Ohur latest victim or something. There's a lot of crap to interact with too. I like that. This thin growing thread pierces the surface of the water and plunges deep into the black depths like a white line drawn in shining ink. Well, examine obviously. You try flicking the shining string and your finger goes right through it. Could you try catching something for me? I've had no luck today. Besides, everything down there is pretty much stronger than me. Try catching something for crooked quick. You pull on the line, and something in the dark below pulls back. You press your lips together and reel in your catch. A muddy cipher dangles from the end of the line. It's beautiful, Crooked Queek breathes. I was just hoping for fish. I can sell it and eat for weeks. Yeah, okay, go on then. You pass the cipher to her, and she squishes her eyes shut in unmitigated joy. Thank you. Use my fishing pole whenever you want. Cool, tug on the line. You take hold of the fishing rod and begin to reel in the line. But nothing's on the hook. You might have better luck tomorrow. Okay. Fuck you then. Let's talk to you. This large and heavily muscled woman wears what appears to be rags that should have fallen apart years ago. She looks so tired that you wouldn't be surprised if she fell asleep on her feet, and yet when she opens her mouth, her voice is energetic, like a little girl who's about to get a present. Hello, can anyone hear what I'm saying? I can't make this work. Without warning, she slaps herself. I hope no one saw that. Who are you? Are you talking to me? Her head swivels awkwardly around, trying to catch a glimpse of you. Oh, you are! My name is Varanoth, Champion of the Wastes! The woman flinches at the sound of the very different booming voice that came out of her own mouth. That's not my name, you stupid thing. It's Varanoth, Champion of the Wastes. Damn. I come from a land you've never heard of. Damn it, I guess I'm not allowed to say. You're out in control of your body, are you? I am. I just don't know how it all works. The woman clenches a massive fist, tendons standing against her skin like steel cables. This isn't actually my body, I'm just talking through her and trying to move her around. A foot lifts, freezes and falls back to the ground. It keeps yelling over me if I talk about something I'm not supposed to, she says, lowering her voice, but maybe if I speak carefully. Her chin drops to her chest. My family explores the world using special tools. The body stabs itself with its fingers pointedly. But they tell me I'm too young to help, so I waited until everyone was sleeping and... you know. The head lolls back on its neck, winking at the roof of the cavern. Are you an explorer too? I am, but not like you. Oh-ho, she says. For some reason, I thought you were a champion of the waste, too. Damn, I did it again, didn't I? Just don't tell anyone what I am, okay? What can that construct do? Well, it's really hard to break. My mother, that's who usually controls it, once got stepped on by an adult earthshaker. It's just stuck here in the ground like a nail. The woman flexes a massive bicep. Am I flexing? The girl says. I'm trying to flex. Anyway, it's also incredibly strong. Punch holes in mountains strong. The arm flops back to her hip. And it's not really a construct. There's no metal inside. She has blood, bones, perfect human expressions. Not that you can tell that from how I do it, the girl adds sourly. The woman's face grimaces along with her. Where did you get the construct? I was born in a storm on the battlefield at night, the woman roars. Huh, the girl says after a respectful silence. She really doesn't want me to tell you what I just tried to tell you. Can't you tell me anything about where you got this construct? Seeds, the girl blurts. Oh, she let me say it, but I probably won't get away with more. Sorry. Why do your people explore? Our impenetrable fortress in a lost valley is falling apart. I think we should just go out into the world for real, but no, my family is afraid. The fingers on the woman's right hand wiggle, like they're playing an instrument. Her dead expression doesn't change even as the voice rises. I'm not, of course. But they won't even let me use this thing. I have to sneak around like a child. Okay, bye. Man, she's... That was weird. You're a weirdo. What is this? This is weird too. What is it? A dark sphere inhabits almost every socket in the obelisk that stretches towards the cavernous ceiling. No one else seems to be paying the odd structure any attention. Like most Numenera, it's simply here. And if it can't be used, it's treated as part of the scenery. The orbs gleam in the dim light. You lean towards them. Are they glass? Jewels? Eyes? Touch the nearest sphere. Your finger barely grazes the glass before it displays an image of a furred creature touching the surface from the other side. Purple vines threaded with veins of light hanging from the branches of the trees behind it. You lift your fingertip, and darkness swallows the creature. The orb is opaque once more. The orbs appear to reflect whatever action is performed in front of them. Tell the orb a secret? With your lips nearly brushing the surface, you whisper a thought you've never told anyone. A too tall, narrow-hipped being, a visitant, appears in the glass, long fingers clasped. Meeting your eyes, it speaks words you cannot hear. Hum a little song. Nothing appears in any of the dark orbs. Instead, the whisper of many voices joined in song curls from the obelisk, so low that only you can hear it. What is red tide? Make rude gesture? Okay, fuck it. You make the most obscene gesture you can think of at the glass. A young woman with rainbow pupils appears at the glass, flicking her fingertip across her chin. She nods, grinning, as if imagining your shock at her daring. Oh, this is how the Numenera should be used, alright, he says sourly, insulting people across time and space. Make an even ruder gesture. The rainbow-eyed woman rewards your gesture with one of her own. She jabs a finger at her knee, grinning at her own audacity. This is a fun Numenera to play with. Alright, let's have a look around. That was weird. Who are you? Can I talk to you? Are you crazy as well? What am I saying? Everybody around here's fucking crazy. In a stall filled with all manner of dusty parts, connectors, and strange devices, a woman tinkers with a half-assembled power source, peering at it through spectacles that have several adjustable lenses. Her long white hair is disheveled, and the skin of her thin frame is marked with small scars and burns. She looks up curiously as you approach. Welcome to McKellar's Mechanicals. I got a bunch of broken stuff and a few things that work. You won't want any of it. Let me know. You want any of it? Let me know. Where do you get your stock? She shrugs. Trade mostly. Your friend Elegern there brings me things every now and then. Hello, priest. He nods curt. Michaela. I get stuff from little Manth too. Though sometimes his stuff is too hot to touch. Even a few things from the sticker, if you can believe it. You trade with the sticker? Now and then, they dig up all kinds of things in those tunnels of theirs. Picky about what they trade for though. Only want things that'll hold lightning charge. Flash packs, generators, that kind of thing. Her brow furrows. Which is weird now that I think of it, because their eggs hold a charge. Like little batteries they are. I've even converted a few of them into power things. Though don't tell the sticker that. Be like using a baby for firewood, in their eyes. Do you know a woman named Matkina? Pale skin, hard looks? Oh I know that one. Carked and twitchy. Asked me to keen the workings of some weird old device she had. Obsessed with it. Like it was a bit of sniff, and she's a slave to it. Never seen the like. She leans in. You seem like the kind that would be interested, so I'll tell you. It was a jagged knobby thing, black and evil, little warts all over. She seemed to think it could help her remember something. But I couldn't even figure out if it was on or off. Near to killed me when I couldn't make it work for her. She frowns, remembering. I'd have been mad, except I saw how sick she was with it, shaking, tears, the whole lot. Sent her on her way and wished her luck. She'll need it, poor thing. What do you got for sale? I mean, I'm not really buying anything at this point. Oh my god, is that a... Oh, I thought it was a gun. Is that a gun? Why don't you have any fucking guns? I suppose I could sell this crossbow. You gonna buy that? Yeah? Whatever, let's go.
Fair enough.
Dude, this place is so interesting. What is this thing? It's a robot. Talk to it. The construct looms over you, frozen in mid-step. Its heavy limbs and barreled body have recently been polished by careful hands, but the joints themselves are completely fused. This creature hasn't moved in a long time. It studies you with eyes made of swirling orange fire. Late for your first shift, Sin Smith, it growls. Grab a station and a hammer, and damn well get to work. Do you call all your workers by their position? It saves time. You workers break so easily, or die, or retire. It saves all the distaste in its repertoire for the last word. Now, get to work. Get to work. After an hour of work, the Master Foreman bellows you back over. You go stretching your aching arms. They feel somewhat stronger than before. Supervisor tells me you're not the Sinsmith he hired, but I gave you some work to do, and you damn well got to it. I respect that. But we only take experienced Sinsmiths here. Its fiery eyes flare. Now, I don't want you thinking we let people work for free. I had the supervisor leave you some shins for that hour of work. Take it. Dude, we gained 1 might. That's awesome. Now, why are you actually here? Out with it. Who are you? I am the Master Foreman, the construct declares. Its tone puts you in a mind of someone speaking while saluting. The mind and the will behind the city you see today. You can't move, can you? No, and I don't need to, it says, eyes flashing. A passing worker gives you a look for triggering what is apparently a familiar story. Once we Foremen were the tools of the cartographers, and their vast web of machine intelligences. Submerged in the song of their will, we worked with thoughtless joy. Its voice is soft, tinged with synthetic awe. Then, one day, the song fell silent and our bodies froze where they stand even now. Some of us lost our faith in those first few centuries, it growls. Some of us thought the cartographers were punishing us, or had abandoned us. Only I saw their absence for what it was. His words grew hoarse. It was a gift of free will. We were their tools no longer. We were our own masters, freed from the chains of thoughtless motion, free to imagine our future. And so, we did for millennia. Who were these cartographers? We don't know, it admits. The most we know of them is their names in the code, and the vessels we were building for them that they never claimed. Our creation came at the order, but we have never known their faces, only their song. While others dithered and wailed, I bent my mind to the future, it continues. I analyzed the work we had done for the cartographers. To my shame, I found flaws in the processes. I removed them. Its eyes burned brighter. For the next cluster of centuries, I studied the vast catalogue of known technology in Numenera in my mind, and strung them together, creating new inventions for the day when the cartographers returned and reactivated us. He sighs. But that day never came. But humans eventually did. Yes, and though you are flawed and fragile, you make perfect tools, just as we had once been. Your people found us, and the era of my greatest work began. They asked us to help them raise the city until it cast all others in shadow, to cobble their artifacts and their trinkets into grand devices that would power every corner and make them safe from their enemies. And I told them, it coughs as if holding back tears, I told them I had a plan. You see the fruit of our mighty effort all around you. Jesus, you got a lot to talk about. Tell me about the other constructs. Can't spend much more time chatting, it says, but lowers its voice. You've shown an interest in us, and I appreciate that. The truth is that there are no other foremen. Not really. Yes, there are. The Master Artisan bellows cheerfully from across the manufactory. No, there aren't, the Master Foreman shouts. Do you two always bicker like this? The Artisan is a weaker mind, tarnished by our long years in the dark, it says. It does nothing but ridicule my great work. The truth is, we were once a single mind, but when the cartographers left us, our minds settled into different containers, pools if you will. And while theirs grew stagnant and self-indulgent, mine remained clean, untainted, pure. Ignoring the snort from the distant artisan, the Master Foreman continues. While the years poured past, I felt the slow ruin of the city of the cartographers had left behind. It haunted me, and so I vowed to undo the damage that time had done. Jesus. I notice you haven't spoken much about the third Foreman, the one with no legs. Ha! There's a reason for that. I focus my intellect on the design of everything, from useful devices to structures that will last 1,000 generations. It sniffs. The master artisan contributes at least, even if it prefers focusing on delicately etched flowers, base aesthetics. And a good thing too, calls artisan, otherwise Sagus would look like a stack of unpolished metal cubes. I might prefer that. So would I, the construct says, and lowers its voice. Though I'm not against an arch or two. Very structurally sound an arch. At first, the third one in our little group helped with the great endeavour. Our workers scavenged pipes from the ruins beneath the city, harnessed the power in the cartographer's vessels and redirected it through Sagus Cliff. But in the centuries since, the other Foreman has grown doubtful. Not useful doubt, mind you. Not the kind that lends to more efficient designs and processes, no. The other Foreman has existential doubt. It wonders why we are alive, as if we actually are. And it has become obsessed with the idea of producing offspring, to the point of dismantling itself to do so. He snorts, sentimental drivel, bordering on perversion. I may have some business for you. You need work done. If it can be built, fixed, or solved, you've come to the right place, the construct says. I need advice on repairing a crystalline device in the reef. Consultation, eh? Tell you what, bring me a piece of the device to examine, and I'll count the examination as payment for advice rendered. Deal? Show the crystal shard to the Foreman.
I'm ready to learn something new.
It says, scanning the shard. Micro fissures saturated with organic fluid. This device of yours is alive. Replacement crystals need to be grown, not made. The construct's light swivels from you, leaving you and the shard in the dark. Can't help you more than that. Growing crystals isn't my business. But those ruin diggers in the Order of Truth might be able to tell you more. You'll find them in the government square, up the ladder to my left. Good luck. I'm looking for an albino woman named Makina. Have you seen her? Yes, the construct says. She wanted us to repair a temporal manipulation device. Plan on fiddling around in her past, no doubt. I don't recommend it, but it's not my business if people want to tangle reality. You suddenly feel dizzy, unaware. The construct carries on. Nothing was wrong with her artifact. Probably meant there was something wrong with her. But again, that's none of my business. You blink, swaying, and open your eyes on a different time.
I'm ready to learn something new.
The underbelly is not yet what it will become. The three Foremen are dim shapes in a wavering hemisphere of light. The air is thick with dust, and the great engines beyond are cold and silent. True to its nature, the Master Foreman is lecturing you. No, the construct says. What matters is that it can be done. Should doesn't matter. Should is a waste of everyone's time. Are you fainting, the Master Foreman? The present one says suspiciously. No fainting allowed in the manufactory floor. We can't have workers tripping over you and toppling into forges. We'll miss deadlines. You open your eyes and the memory collapses. Actually, I don't need any help from you right now. Fine, are we done then? Yeah, okay, bye. There's so much to talk to you about, holy crap. I still didn't finish it all up. Oh, there's the one without the legs. It's the ladder. And that'll go to Government Square, I suppose. I do have shit to do there. But there's still shit to do here. I kinda want to talk to all these constructs as well, but we're gonna be just talking all day, every day. Like seriously, we've been at this.
Yeah.
After this, we would have been playing the game for like, what, 3.5 hours, 4 hours? And we've literally done nothing except talk to everybody. What the fuck is going on in here? This man towers over you, enormously fat and draped in gaudy robes. His expression is calm, stern even, as he regards the bloody mess spread across the floor and wall. The hooded figure on either side of him tense as you approach. He turns to inspect you, eyebrows lifted, and raises his hand. His bodyguards relax, watching you. In the space of a second, he flicks over to you. He nods, apparently to himself, as if your presence has confirmed something he expected. What are you doing in the underbelly, fallen star? How do you know who I am? An odd question, he says, frowning. You fell from the sky like a comet and somehow survived. My people have been watching you since you set foot on the beach. He cocks his head. Now that I've answered your question, answer mine. What are you doing down here? I'm looking for someone. Are you? He says. I know everyone in the underbelly, and I am seeking someone as well. Perhaps we can help each other.
I'll remember that.
He turns his back on you, staring down at the vast pool of blood. This is all that remains of Weedle, one of my proteges. I had hopes for him. Now they'll never be realized. The underbelly is poorer without him. The rage beneath his voice cuts each word shorter and shorter. Bring me any information you find. Help me discover the identity of his killer, and you will be rewarded. He exhales sharply and then turns around. The fury you glimpse in him is buried once more.
I'll remember that.
There is an assassin named Matkina, he says. She is known as the White Death. I have helped her find work in the past, but she has become erratic. If she is not involved, she might know who is. If you wish to help in this matter, ask her what she knows. The creature named Mapper may know where she is. You can count on me. I hope so, he says. Trustworthy allies are in short supply. Do you have any idea about the killer's motive? I have suspicions, he says, a muscle on his cheek twitching. And I have enemies. It takes no imagination to conclude that this was meant to hurt me. He shakes his head, but the killer didn't slit Weedle's throat and leave him for me to find. No, they spilled an ocean of his blood and scrawled nonsense on the walls. If this is a message for me, I cannot interpret it. I want to examine the murder scene behind you. At first, Folsom doesn't respond. He merely stares down at you. Through you. I will not have you trample through this blood without cause, he says, so there at least better be one. The murderer may have left behind evidence. I won't know unless you let me look. He casts a doubtful glance behind him, pauses, then nods. Let him pass when he's ready, he tells the hooded figures at his side. They incline their heads.
It's a plan.
Alright, let's interact with this shit. Not much remains of Folsom's former protege beyond a vast, still pool of blood, with a skinned hand at its center. A bloody circle is scrawled on the wall nearby. Examine the hand. A flayed hand with long, slender fingers lies palm up in the center of the pool of blood. The rest of the victim is missing.
Making a note.
You step away. Examine the bloody circle on the wall.
I'm ready to learn something new.
It is immediately clear that the dashes and bleeding pinpricks decorating the circle are not random. This is simple, drawn with careful intent. Unfortunately, it means nothing to you. Before you can look away from the circle, a memory bulges painfully through your thoughts, and the memory isn't yours. Surrender to the memory no matter how much it hurts. Fresh blood streams over the circle, yanking you through the hollow at its center into the world beyond. A strip of blistered land coils through a void as black as a gaping mouth. The air is thick, foul, and textured with the slickness of maggots. Nausea slams into you, filling your head, infecting your thoughts.
I'm ready to learn something new.
You shove the horrific memory away from you, slamming your mind shut like a door and swallowing the knot of nausea in your throat. After seeing that world, the bloody pool at your feet seems almost mundane. Yeah, it was worth it. We got 2 XP and 2 damage.
Yes.
I mean, that's going to do the same thing, I assume, right? Yeah, okay, cool.
All right.
Where's this, oh, there's Mapper. Gotta talk to you, Mapper. From a distance, it looks as if the mutant is wearing a form-fitting suit of finely patterned lines in white, yellow, and pale blue. On closer examination, it becomes apparent that these are tattoos, and they cover nearly his entire body, even his shaved head. His actual clothes are simple and worn, and his boots look as though they've seen hard use. He is studying the meaningless swirls and whirls on his arms, and mouthing names that mean nothing to you. Solvi, Ballant, Urgau, Ten Trees. When he looks up at you, you see that a strange device covers one of his eyes. A deep blue light shines in the center, and it seems to measure and evaluate you as he focuses on you. He smiles as you approach, a broad, beaming grin that says he considers you a friend already. I'm Mapper, he says, extending his hand. I've been everywhere around here. I found my way into places long sealed and best forgotten, met all sorts of people. He frowns. Can't say I cared much for some of them, it's true. His voice is fast, insistent, and incisive. Still, I try. The communities of our world are islands of light. Sometimes they wink out and sometimes they flare up. I want to link them together. I want to be a bridge. Where'd you get all those tattoos? These aren't tattoos. They're maps. He exposes a shiny grin. Maps of places I've been or heard of. He covers the artificial eye with his hand and says, if I look at my skin like this, it's meaningless. Then he uncovers it and says, but look at it like this, and suddenly I see the map, springing up off my skin. I focus on it. It all becomes clear. Buildings, peoples, smells, even a route to get there. It's worthless to anyone else, of course, without me to interpret the map. It's a combination of my mutation and the lens. Finding the eyepiece was the best part of being born like this. He sighs contentedly. It made me feel like my life made sense at least. And that, my friend, is far more luck than anyone deserves. I like this guy. He's totally right. Where have you been? He laughs. It's probably easier to ask where I haven't been. All over the Sagas Protectorate, the oasis of Mra Yolios, Valley of Dead Heroes, Colon Village, the ruins of Archipelacia, and all around the Black Cube, Tower of Birds, where Third Loss fell, even up past the Clock of Kala to Vrolk. As he speaks, the lines of his body shift and move, coming into prominence with the words. Every place was a treat, an experience. Did you know most people never go more than 50 kilometers from the village of their birth, if that? I've been tremendously lucky, my friend. He smiles down at his maps, then looks back at you and says more quietly, if you plan to travel, I'd avoid the grasslands though. The birds will take your meat for their meals, and your bones for their nests. You say you want to be a bridge. How do you even do that? He shrugs, a faint smile on his lips. I travel, I see places, I map them out on my skin, and maybe inside me, I don't know. I mean, the lines change when I look, and they've got to be stored someplace, right? He scratches his bald head. The lines flow under his fingers. I just need to collect places. I need to know that I've done something. Making maps is all I know. It's all I want to know. Have you heard anything about the murders down here? Murders? What murders? Alarm colours his face, and a faint red streak runs through his tattoos. No one tells me anything. He sighs. One of the drawbacks of being a drifter, I suppose. No one thinks to keep you informed. He looks around. Of course, in a place like this, people don't generally talk to each other much anyway. I'm looking for a woman named Matt Keener. Do you know where I can find her?
Making a note.
Matt Keener, the White Death. I've heard of her. I know where she hides, too. He grins wide, exposing a mouthful of extraordinary white and clean teeth. I can tell you where she is, but I hate to say it comes with a price. Much as I love to talk about my travels, I need to finish a patch of my Sagas Cliffs map. And I need bragging rights for the next time I see the Navigators. He shrugs. Also, she might not be happy, I've told. But I might be able to help you find it. For a trade, of course. He drops his voice. Have you ever heard of the Changing God? Savior of Sagas Cliffs? In times past and so forth? They say that he had a sanctuary under the city. A place he used to retreat to and plan for the future while he thought on his past. You know, making possibility maps. That sanctuary is the one important place I haven't seen in Sagas Cliffs, and I need it to fill my map. As far as I can tell, it's not far past the sticker lair. The problem I'm having is that I just can't make any sense of their language. Maybe you can talk to them? He shrugs disarmingly. It's a hell of a price, I know, but there it is. If you want to fight Makina, you'll find that sanctuary for me. I'll be back when I found the sanctuary. Do we have a map, like, of this general vicinity? Oh, we got a level up. So you should do that then. What is edge again? Let's see. For each point of edge, you can use 1 level of effort and a stat pool. At no stat pool cost. Wow. Or improved skill. Kinda want that. Let's max out smashing.
Did I learn that? Or remember it?
Does it matter? I don't think it matters. What does the map say? Ding 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 ding. Oh, anyway. Government Square. The Dendra O'Hare Chapel's right there. I guess that's where we're going next. After we do a little bit of wandering about, but we are absolutely already fucking
Fair enough.
half an hour in. Already. Fuck, man. Time burns up so fast in this game. Without actually achieving anything. We're just wandering around, and time is like disappearing on me. You find a jumbled pile of large rocks at the end of this roughly hewn tunnel. The motionless limbs of a stickus protrude from the mountain. The rents in its carapace painted with dried ichor. Move the rocks to uncover the corpse. 90. Piece of cake. First rock is the hardest to shift. Once you warm to the task, you're nearly flinging them aside until you fully expose the corpse beneath. Examine the corpse. Clearly the creature was digging this tunnel when the roof collapsed and killed it. Its smaller claw is mangled and smashed, but apart from the crushed thorax and a few gashes in the carapace, the body itself is surprisingly intact. Okay.
Sure.
Is there more to do here, or is that it? That's it.
On my way.
Alright, I want to keep playing, but 32 minutes in. This place is so huge, man. Does that go back up top? It does.
Doing it now.
Let's go check this bit out quickly. Stickers. Well, this is the stickers lair. So I guess that's where we're going next for that, for Mapper. Alright, I'm going to have to stop this episode here because otherwise it's just going to run on forever. But we'll be back to it soon enough, I guess. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next episode.